What's up guys, it's Nathan Andrew, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do a really cool 300 like zoom transition in DaVinci Resolve. It's going to look something like this. I know that's not as cool as the actual movie 300, but it's about as good as I can do. So let's jump into DaVinci Resolve and see how to do this really cool transition. So there are 3 steps to doing this effect. You first have to automate the position of both clips to intersect. The second is you have to add motion blur. And the third is you have to color correct both of the clips so that they match. And then stay tuned for a kind of secret 4th tip that you're going to see in this video that'll help us cover our tracks when we do our color correcting differences. Alright, so now that we know what steps we're going to do, let's get in and I'll show you how to do those steps. Okay, so we're here in Resolve and we got these 2 shots. We got this wide out shot and we got this close up shot. My buddies took both of these angles and I thought, man, it would be cool to start with this wide out shot and zoom into this one. Oh, look at that pose. It's amazing. My ripped jeans, everything, right? You're going to want to pick at what point you want to go from this wide out shot to the zoomed in shot, and you want to match, you're essentially doing a match cut, right? You're going to want to match up the different frames from the 2 videos. So going in here, watching it, boom. Okay, right here is when I want to start zooming in. So I'll put a little marker there. Why not? We want to start zooming in right at this marker. We're going to go bam to bam. And you can kind of see my head goes back there and it goes back there. It's like a perfect match, hence match cut. So first step is we're going to want to keyframe, zoom, and position on both of the clips. We'll start here, keyframe, zoom, and position. And we're gonna move this back just so we can see. As we move forward a couple frames, we're gonna wanna zoom way in, right? It's like a push in motion. And as you can see, if we zoom in here, that's not where we're zooming into. That's not the subject. So we're also gonna, that's why we also have to keyframe position and go like there. Now we need to see what frame we're matching, right? So looking back and forth, we can see what we're trying to match here. They're not exactly matched. Here I have options. I can either zoom out on the previous clip, the wide out clip, or I can zoom in a little bit on this one. I'm actually going to choose to zoom in on the closer shot to match them up. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here. That's pretty good. We'll see how it looks. All right. So now we have this, bam. But that looks like crap. Oh yeah, so great. Definitely can't tell a difference at all as it goes from this super blown out grainy mess to this super crisp zoomed in shot. So the next thing we need to do is we actually need to zoom in also on the close up clip. The reason why is right now we have the wide out shot zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, and then stopping zooming in right as it changes to the close shot. That doesn't look good at all because it's abrupt. You can tell that the clip changes, but in order for the spectator's eyes to really go with what's happening, you not only want to zoom in on the wide out shot, but you also want to zoom in on the close shot and they'll overlap, and that means that the motion is going to continue into the close shot, and that will make the viewer really not be able to tell. We have our little match here, right? But here, we're gonna take it from this step and we're gonna zoom it in even more. Watch this. Move forward a couple frames, and now we zoom into the guitar. All right. So now we have this, right? So we have this. We change there, bam, going in. See? So far we're looking good, but what is it missing? Is there any spice that we can add onto this to make it look a little bit better? Yes. We can add ease in and ease out keyframes to make it look more like an actual camera zoom. Because if you think about it, when you're zooming in on a camera, you don't zoom in at a speed, at a rate that is perfectly linear. We're humans, we can't do that. We don't do it. No, we gotta push in. How we do this is we'd use ease ins and ease outs instead of linear keyframes. Now this is gonna mess us up a little bit because we're gonna have to readjust kind of where everything happens, but that's okay because it's gonna look more realistic. now we'll go along with our keyframes and make sure we're in frame the whole time. Yeah, that's good. That's okay. That looks really good. It's fast, but of course now we have to match up the close shot. That's okay. Okay, so after playing with the keyframes and the curves on both of these clips, we get something that looks like this. Now, notice how I cut this clip off in the middle of the curve and put it, not quite in the middle, but almost in the middle of this curve. Not quite in the middle, but it's still moving at this point. That is really important to sell the motion and to have that continuation of motion effect that deceives our eyes so well when we do things like match cuts. After you get the positioning and the curves down, there are two things left that you need to worry about. One is motion blur, and two is the color. We go over to effects. We go over to effects and we select zoom blur. So we're gonna put zoom blur on this clip and zoom blur on this clip. But we can't just keep it on at all times, because look, now we got this shot out here where there's no zooming happening and it's just blurry. That's dumb. So we're gonna have to keyframe it. Zoom amount, that's what we're gonna want to worry about. Center exclusion, you're gonna want a little bit of that. That's gonna make whatever we're zooming towards not blurry. You can do it, do whatever you feel like. As long as it looks good, it is good. So in order to make it so that the center exclusion doesn't move and the zoom blur doesn't move with the keyframed positioning, you gotta uncheck this box, move with sizing. Watching this back, we go like this, boom. Oh, all of a sudden we have this crazy blur. Look at me shredding my guitar there. Bam, bam. Okay, then we get to this shot. We're gonna wanna match it, just like with the position. So now looking at it, wow. So we got our zoom, and now we're gonna mess with our color so that those match. So we got this really blown out here, and then this really properly exposed. But for the sake of realism, we're actually gonna make the zoomed in shot overly exposed. But we're going to do something sneaky to make it work. So we're here in Fusion. We're just gonna shift space, color, corrector. Add that there. Why I'm not doing this in the color panel is because you can actually keyframe these. As far as I know, you can't keyframe stuff like this in the color panel. So we're gonna take the gain, we're just gonna blow it out like that. Now let's go back to the edit page. Whoa, that is super blown out. That's even more blown out than that. So we don't wanna go that far. Let's take the gain down a little bit. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. But let's keyframe this. So we got the gain here, right? Go through. Okay, and we'll pick this spot. Now here's the sneaky thing, the sneaky trick. When we get here, we're going to make it seem like the camera zoomed in and then zoomed out. Because right now we're zoomed in on this close-up shot. We're not seeing my beautiful face. So what we're gonna do is, in position, we are going to keyframe here and here, move forward like not that far, right there. Keyframe again, and we're gonna just take this back to normal. So the zoom value is gonna be 1, the Y value is gonna be 0, the X value is gonna be 0, and now we're zoomed out. So what we're gonna do here is actually really clever, in my opinion, in my very humble opinion. When we go to zoom out on this final clip, that is when we're going to change the color values. The reason why is when you zoom in on a camera, assuming you don't have automatic exposure on, the image will get darker. Now this is actually doing the opposite. It's actually getting darker as we zoom out, but the effect will look better. We'll be able to hide it, I should say. So here's the endpoint that we will zoom out to, and then we go back to that Fusion page, and we get here, we'll just match where the keyframes are here. So we'll go to this keyframe here, keyframe the gain here, go back, next keyframe, Fusion, keyframe this, take this back to 1. Bam. And now we're back here. So what we get, and then we'll also curve these as well. These need to be curved. There we go. That looks good. All right. So now we are left with zooming in on this shot, and then we zoom out, and then bam, you got your second shot. Okay guys, so that is how to do the zoom transition. When you get done, it'll look something like this. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video and got a lot of benefit out of it. If you want to see other content like this, let me know in the comments. If you want to see something else, let me know that as well. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.